All right, welcome summoners back to the summer split of the GPL 2014. My name is Chris. I'm joined by Jay Storm today, and this is day 2 of week number 1 after what seemed like a few exciting matches that we have yesterday.
Well, definitely indeed. So yesterday, what marked the start of the summer split of the GPL, and the stakes are high for this split because the winner of the split will have a direct ticket to the World Championship itself.
That's right. So it is going to be a very exciting split with some of the new teams already showing their prowess and their capabilities in some of the matches yesterday, and we will have more action today. So, Jay Storm, who is going to be playing today?
Well, kicking off the action today, in the first match will be the Saigon Fantastic 5 going up against Neolution Full Lewis, following which Neolution Full Lewis will be doubling up and playing against Insiders Gaming Rebirth, one of the new teams to the Garena Premier League, followed by their sister team Legends, playing against the Bangkok Titans in the third game for today. Imperium Pro Team will be playing against the Azubu Taipei Assassins to round off the action for tonight.
Yeah, and for our viewers who were tuning in yesterday, when they were watching the last match of the night for Saigon Fantastic 5, who went up against War Gods, there was a lot of delays and there were a lot of pauses, and there were a lot of people who was wondering, what's going on, what's going to be the final verdict. And it has been confirmed that Saigon Fantastic 5 will pick up the default victory over War Gods because of a couple of reasons. Number one, the match just extended past 8 minutes, so there's no way that the teams can restart the game against each other. So that's the first reason why. Second reason is because they had to use some forms of comparison to make sure that who actually had the upper hand at the point of time. And Saigon Fantastic 5, they had more goal differential than 25% of War Gods' total goal. So just given by some of these guidelines, Saigon Fantastic 5 picked up the victory against War Gods. So congratulations to them. We will see them in action in game number 1 very, very shortly right after this.
So once again, laying down the law, if the game goes after 8 minutes, there will be no regame. And if the team has got more than 25% of the goal lead after that point, they will be awarded the victory, as in the case of Saigon Fantastic 5 against War Gods. And speaking of a little bit of prizes to be given away.
All right.
There's a talk. There is a talk room, is Garena Talk Room 8, number 88, in which a moderator will ask you a question, and if you answer the question correctly, the lucky winners will stand to win some free skins from the Pentakill series.
So have you checked out the Pentakill album already?
Definitely indeed, and I have to say the bass, and I believe it's Yorick who plays the bass.
Yes. And I was telling Wolf yesterday as well, if I was one of the winners that can choose any of the Pentakill skins for myself, I would definitely choose the Pentakill Yorick skin, just because he wears a top hat, a sweet, sweet top hat like I do as well. So, I mean, a lot of people are definitely going to say, oh, I want to go for the lead singer, I want to go for the Pentakill cutters, but, sometimes you got to appreciate the bass players as well. So, Pentakill Yorick for you. And
well, I'm definitely a lead singer person, so Carter's is gonna be my country.
Yeah. It's just one of the mainstream guys, I suppose. So, anyway, before we jump into game number 1, this is not the only way that you can win skins for yourself, because we have the GPL question for the week as well. And the question for this week is which of the 4 teams do you want to see in go through all the way and go to the finals, and why? And of course, if you tweet at us, or even use that on the Facebook, just hashtag GPL Esports. Then if we choose your answer, you will stand to win one of the 5 Pentakill skins as well. But unfortunately, this only applies to the Singapore Malaysian server. But do tweet at us and use that hashtag to let us know how you feel about GPL as well. We definitely want to hear from your responses, and if you want to find out maybe how old Jensen is, J Storm is, and how some of the casters are like, then we will try as much as possible to answer those questions for you.
Well, with that, we will be taking a little bit of highlight views from the 2 teams that we will be seeing play shortly, the Saigon Fantastic 5 as well as Neolution Full Lewis Esports.
Và Aji là mục tiêu. Anh ta bật lá chắn, anh ta đã chết đó một chiêu cho Minap khổng lồ quá cho Minap, và Juni sẽ đi bụi. Có một viên táo hụt nhưng vẫn có triple kill. tương đối tốt và trời sập rất nhiều sát thương vào mặt biết ơn Diêu, thậm chí là người đỡ đòn phải chết thẳng. Đằng sau kia Fit đang chơi thẳng vào mặt của Crazy Pie, anh ta bấm lô cát, anh ta cầu được 3 thành viên để cho Archie bắn.
Hóa công và Jungle liên xuất hiện, tốc biến vào, bắt đầu đá. Optimus đang bị những khiêu đốn, Safety tốc biến bỏ chạy, một cú quy cũng là chết và đó là đôi nhau và đó là double kill.
Win tới sóng âm vô ảnh cước, nổ lông cước nhưng đã bị đẩy về rồi, chưa kịp nổ lông cước. Oriel tới phóng lao vẫn chưa phóng, Quách Thành Vũ đang cố gắng né được cú đó bằng cú tốc biến. Win vẫn đang bơi vào rồi, nổ lông cước rồi, Quách Thành Vũ.
Vào tranh tổng đến từ bên phía Full. Bây giờ thì lao vào.
Không cướp được, đó là kinh nghiệm của anh ta, tốc biến ngược lên, bên kia thì rắc chết rồi. Tentay gặp nguy hiểm, Tentay về dạng nội tại nhưng Tentay lướt đi nhưng cũng phải chết dưới những sát thương của Zep mà thôi. Thanh trừng tung ra, Baby là người chết kế tiếp theo. 4 người lên bảng rồi, Kai chắc chắn là cũng không thể nào chạy được. Và đó là tròn vo 5 người, quadra kill dành cho vị trí của Zep.
Đẩy rất nhanh nhưng cái dây nối được 4 thành viên và Saigon trong tay của team bay ra. Họ bấu lại được Akiho, kiệt sức lên người của Lisna. Lisna mất tốc biến nên các con hồi máu, anh đã bị trói lại bởi quả bóng tối ở Violet làm cực. Vị trí của Rai, Sọp có thể gặp nguy hiểm, Shady vòng ra phía sau lưng. Sọp biết điều này, anh ta đang rất bình tĩnh ở lại đây. Ở khu vực đường trên thì kèo đấu đã chiến thắng dành cho Rai rồi. Đang là những pha sử dụng đến kỹ năng E của mình, đang lướt đi và chặn tường gió, né rất khéo. Và 10 thành viên của hai đội đã tập trung ở đây rất nhanh. Có cái gì đấy nó không đúng ở đây. Tại sao Xin ta lại giàu như vậy? Và anh ta đang lao vào và tạo tiền đề cho chiêu cuối của Yasuo. 2 mạng dành cho Rai, họ vẫn tiếp tục đuổi theo. Và đây cũng là một kết hợp rất tuyệt vời đến từ chiêu cuối của Saigon. Lee Sin đá xuống, người đang mất rất nhiều máu là Vi, mất đi nguồn trừng phạt rồi. Nhưng bên phía đội tuyển Full không còn ai dồn sát thương vào Baron nữa. Sin bị giữ lại, Sin bị làm choáng, nhưng bắn rất tốt là Z. Sin không bị tiêu diệt, Yasuo quét sạch và đó là một pha thi đấu mà sự hồi sinh.
Alright, so we are back and we have seen the highlight reels of both teams, and we will jump into picks and bans very quickly after this. And yeah, here we go. The bans have already come underway. Saigon Fantastic 5 is going to start things off at the blue side. They have taken out Kha'Zix, LeBlanc, and Yasuo. And for the side of NFL, taking out Morgana as well as Evelyn. Still waiting for the last ban, and it's going to be the Twisted Fate.
I have to say though, Evelyn being banned out against Jungleology is definitely a very good choice. He has shown in the previous split to show a very strong proficiency on that champion, and definitely you don't really want to be facing up against that, but Kassadin has gone through. So QTV will be picking that up for his team. We might see that in the top lane, or we might see Optimus play a mid lane Kassadin as well.
Yep, it's very surprising for for the Garner Premier League as well. And I believe if you're a fervent follower of some of the more Western teams from the NALCS or even the EU LCS, Cassidy is almost a must ban for the red side. But the teams at GPL over here, they are very fearless of. They're probably very fearless, or even given the fact, or they think that they can deal with that Kassadin pick. That's why they have always left it open. Saigon Fantastic 5 played that Kassadin yesterday, and today they are going to get their hands on it once again. But NFL, with very quick fire lock-ins again, they are going to secure themselves the Jacks though. So there's one flavor of the month, a very powerhouse pick for themselves, and then securing the Pantheon for themselves, probably denying that away from Jungleology, because even though there was that long pause that resulted in the automatic win for Saigon Fantastic 5, we already saw the powers of Saigon Fantastic 5 whenever they have that Pantheon up their sleeves. So denying that away from Saigon Fantastic 5 and drawing away the global pressure away from themselves is definitely a good strategy for NFL to run with. And they might just, there we go. They are going to lock in the kill and Nami as well. So, what? Can you tell me more about this kill pick? Because we have seen a lot in the competitive play.
Well, they have the Jax already, and picking up the kill would only indicate that Neolution Full Lewis will be going for a very strong hyper-scaling composition in the form of kill in the mid lane as well as Jax in the top lane. They picked up the Pantheon earlier for some more pressure in the mid game as well as to perhaps get 1 or 2 ganks in the early game together with the flash as well as the stun to perhaps get one or two of the hard carry lanes going. But on the side of Saigon Fantastic 5, they have picked up a very strong bottom lane in the form of Lucian and Trash, and we see the Kassadin mid locked in for them as well. So we will be seeing a repeat performance of Optimus on the Kassadin. But to be completely honest, his performance on Kassadin yesterday wasn't really that inspiring. It feels like he doesn't really understand the champion, and I felt that this was drafting brilliance on the side of Fu Lewis. They knew that Optimus wasn't really that strong on Kassadin, so they gave it to him simply because Optimus, he's known for his zone ranges, champions such as Ziggs, Gragas, Oriana, perhaps more recently Syndra as well.
Okay.
If they leave Kassadin open for him, that allows them to get Jax, one of the strongest champions in the top lane, as well as Pantheon, a very popular jungler among the Taiwanese, among the Vietnamese teams.
Yeah, and so both teams have gotten all the picks selected in, and it's something that is more compatible with the current competitive scene now, because if you think about it, with some of the picks that happened yesterday, there were some oddball picks or some of the picks that are not so common in the competitive scene. But this time around, both teams are just going very straightforward with the flavor of the month picks. So so both of the teams actually getting a few or some. So it's gonna be a very close match, I feel, because these two teams, they're not strangers to each other. They have known each other ever since the last split, and there has been some roster changes around both teams, and we have talked about it yesterday. Saigon Fantastic 5 having some internal swaps with Saigon Jokers, and for Neolution Full Lewis, their own team, they're having some internal role swaps as well. So let's see what is going to be the result of the first clash of these two Vietnamese teams who are really the powerhouses from Vietnam coming into this current split of the GPL.
Okay, I just want to point some things out over here, because the way that both of these two teams have drafted is very counterintuitive to the way they like to play. Fu Lewis, traditionally, they are known for a team that's very, very aggressive. They are always balls to the wall aggression, invading their opponent's jungler with all wards and chasing people very recklessly into their own half of the map. Whereas the old Saigon Jokers, which has got 3 members now, Su, Optimus, as well as QTV, on the current Saigon Fantastic 5, they prefer to play a more controlled tactical game as compared to their counterparts. But in this case, it is them who have gone for the Kassadin, Shyvana, as well as the Lee Sin to try and find the picks and aggression on their opponents, who have gone for much more controlled scaling composition in this case. So spawning on the raid side, we will have Neolution for Louis Esports leading the charge, with SOFM leading the charge down the mid lane on that kill, and they will be spreading out as we enter a pause.
Alright, so small technical difficulty, just bothering these two teams once again. So now that we have this little bit of downtime over here, I just want to give a little attention to Neolution Full Lewis, because in yesterday's broadcast, we did go through extensively what the new changes for Saigon Fantastic 5 could have meant. But for Neolution Full Lewis, if you look at the lineup now, SOFM is definitely the centerpiece, and I'm not playing a wordplay with their roles as well, because he is now the mid laner. Previously, he was the top laner, moved to the jungle for a short while as well, and now finally settling down in the mid lane. And he kind of feels like the Mark Noon of Vietnam, because if you think about it, he's a very flashy player. His personality has a lot of popularity over at Vietnam, and he is the centerpiece of the team, but somehow the team just can't find a breakthrough to win as much games as they want to. So let's see how he's going to perform now with his debut performance of Kill in this current split. And I believe he should be going over with the very popular Korean Kill build as well, which consists with the Hurricane build as well as the Nash's 2 as well, giving you a whole bunch of attacks.
Oh, Shin might get caught over here. We see actually Jungleology landing the resonating strike onto him, but that really doesn't do too much as he backs out of there. He gets the ward down though, so that spots out 3 members, and they do reveal the position of Minas, the AD carry for SF5. And I just want to say something about Neolution Full Lewis. Yesterday, we saw a team that was not Neolution Full Lewis lose the game to disconnection issues.
Oh man.
And previously Neolution Full Lewis in the GPL, they are the team that's infamous for these extended pauses due to connectivity issues. With now Wargods in the picture, Neolution Full Lewis, they have to step up their game, else they have someone else who's already taking their identity in the league.
Oh man, but I guess this is one of the stuff that we can't really predict. I mean, it can happen to the best of teams as well, and not too surprised to see if that happens. But there's that one ward to spot out the entire team of Saigon Fantastic 5. So Neolution Full Lewis will back away from the red buff, and we have seen this before actually coming in from Saigon Fantastic 5 in the game yesterday against Wargods.
Well, it is very interesting that SF5 will be going for such a deep invade. We might be seeing a 2-0 push coming in from the Saigon Fantastic 5. This makes it very interesting because if they go for such a situation, you end up with a very extended freeze in lane in the later stages of the game for QTE as well as for Starfall to farm in later on.
Yeah.
However, I have to say that this works slightly in the favor of Neolution Full Lewis in the ability for their hard carries to be able to farm. But this will open up the map in the favor of SF5 to be able to make use of the mid-game power spikes. The moment Cassidy has got the Griffwalk at level 6, the moment Shyvana gains access to the Dragon's Descent, they can easily move in and contest the buffs and these small objectives within the opponent's jungle.
Yep, and the 2v0 is something that we have seen very common in the North American and EU LCS, but so far it has seemed like most of the teams in the GPL has strayed away from it, except for the Vietnamese teams. And now Neolution Full Lewis faces the danger of this quick push coming in from Saigon Fantastic 5 with this 4v0 up in the top lane. And this is somewhat very common in, just a couple of weeks ago, where, one of the teams was just let go one of the turrets right at the start. And, teams have kind of strayed away from that because they want to come and deep freeze the lane and get as much farm as possible. But this time around, Saigon Fantastic 5, they've chosen to opt to straight away push out the top lane turret and then sending QTV right down to the bottom lane to let him try to defend this turret for himself. But he has to be very careful though, because Neolution Full Lewis actually had 3 men stacked up there before now teleporting back to base to get some more items.
Oh wow, so at Saigon Fantastic 5, they elect to skip picking up the second buff on themselves, and we see Su in the minute. He gets the flare onto SOFM, there goes the hook, and Optimus gets some damage onto SOFM, but the appearance of Violet would mean that spells the end of the aggression for SF5 in the mid lane. But in the bottom lane down there, SF5, the anti-5 actually does not get of it. Oh, the flash play comes in, but that doesn't get anything. They get the flash onto SOFM, and there goes first buff to Optimus. Very well played for them, but that's not the end of it. Su gets the hook onto Violet, and Violet might be going down here. Shin actually flashes and he gets the stun up to Optimus. He chunks him with a spear. Ray buff now letting him peel onto him. Is he gonna continue chasing? Oh, it's a 2-man bubble. Optimus in a whole world of pain. Jungleology tries to come in with the save, but that's not enough. Now Shin, he might get the kill on the Jungleology. That's the double kill for Shin. Oh, this is a disaster for SF5. That might be 3 as Violet picks it up with the ebb and flow.
Goodness, that was some very nice reactionary play from Neolution Full Lewis as we take a look at the replay to see actually what happens down there. So it all started off with SOFM getting caught out of position. Violet tries to come in with the assist, but Optimus just flashes in, opts to go in for the final kill. Great hook onto Violet, but he still has a whole bunch of damage, heal up his sleeves, and then it was just Shin going Leroy Jenkins in this one, just going all in for the fight here. Very nice bubble as well to catch 2 members in for this one. Shin picks up 1 kill, the second kill onto Jungleology as well, so basically clean up this Neolution Full Lewis.
So kind of to break things down, we have 2 kills onto Shin already, as we see Su sweeping around the backside. Jeff might be in a little bit of trouble down here, and the hook manages to land. Do you see the ping one being dropped down? Jeff has got no escape in this case. He flashes out there. Oh, both skill shots dodged away. Now Jeff, he has to make the great escape, but that's not enough, as QTV will pick up the kill for himself.
Yep, so one more roam coming from the Saigon Fantastic 5. They could have transited to the Dragon, but it feels like they don't want to take the risk just as of yet. And you know, something about the 2v0 that we were talking about earlier, and I was discussing this with Wolf yesterday as well. We do see a lot more roams from the supports to try to make the plays happen, and this is exactly what's going on here. But hold on in the mid lane.
Once again, negation to Optimus. He gets started, and now he has to run for his life as SF5 swings his sword and says, "That's it. Today is the day you die."
Oh man, and SOFM definitely making the plays here, as now SF5 knowing for the fact that Shin is not around in the corner here, but the teleport comes in now for Starfall. The Dragon is still gonna go away now. Now Starfall jumps in onto 2.
Oh, now the entire of SF5, they are stuck in the back of this Baron. This is really bad, as they all are forced to blow their flashes to get out there. Although they do pick up the Dragon for themselves at this point of time, it is not worth that much gold, and the amount of kills that they have been leading left and right has given Fu Lewis the goal lead that they need. So far, this is very interesting. Fu Lewis is the one who has been reacting well to SF5's play, as we actually see once again SF5 going on Shin in here in the mid lane. Now Shin is actually trying to run away. He has to rip up on the side, so he should be able to get out of there safely.
Yeah, and there was the level 6 from SOFM as well, so if there is the need to, he can still pop the intervention onto Starfall, not Starfall actually, for Shin, for him to keep safe. So, just like you were mentioning, you know, NFL, they are the ones who are playing reactionary to what SF5 has now. But so far, SF5 has a very good game plan, but with very poor execution.
Oh, who got to follow the action just isn't stopping at all this game, as we see lots of damage being chunked onto Jeff. Now Su is actually level 3 at this point in time because he has been roaming so much. So the return damage coming from Jeff, as well as Violet, actually does a fair bit to Su as well as Lina. But let's know that Linas is actually doomed at this point of time. So again, coming in from Shin, the moment he hits level 6 and picks up the second rotation of buffs, will be extremely deadly in the bottom lane.
Yep, that's right. So if Shin chooses to dive the bomb lane now, it's going to be extremely dangerous for Linas to be in. And yeah, just like I was saying, you know, NFL, they have been playing very reactionary to the game, but just because of the fact that Saigon Fantastic 5 looks a little bit disorientated, and the fact that the execution hasn't been crispy clean, NFL are just able to take advantage of that and find the fights that they want to on their own grounds, just because of the fact that they are very used to aggression, something that we are very used to seeing them play as well. So right now, it is going to be Neolution Fu Lewis leading the goal lead here. 500 goal up in their sleeves, and with 5 kills on their board as well. And if you look at the kills on there, and it has been channeled over to SOFN and into Shin as well. So that is going to be a very good position for them, because it just means that Shin can make a lot more rotations in this early to mid-game stages and still have the damage to finish people off now that he has the Elder Lizard completed.
And just look at the CS difference between the Cassidy as well as the kill. Both of these are very hyper carries. Some might argue the Cassidy skills better, but with 25 CS in the back for the lead of kill, SOFM is definitely going to be making a lot more pressure as compared to Optimus in this case, who still has to scale up the Tear of the Goddess as well as the Roar of Ages when he completes it.
Yep, and not only that, if you look at SOFN's item build, I'm pretty sure he's going for the Nash's 2 first, and he should be transiting that into the Ruinous Hurricane. It's a very effective build at a very moderate medium cost. So it means that SOFM is going to hit his power spike much faster than Optimus, and when that happens, NFL is just going to have so much raw power in the mid-game stages for them to pick the fights against Saigon Fantastic 5, and that is something that they have to be very careful for, because if you look at it in the past few minutes or so, from the start of the game, they have made a lot of great moves, but right now they seem a little bit lost. They don't exactly know how to respond from right now, so they're just sitting in lane and farming up as much as possible.
But nonetheless, QTV, he does have a 1 kill lead as well as a 10 CS lead over Starfall on the top lane. But Shin comes in for a gank and he flashes after QTV. I'm not really sure what that will achieve, as QTV will activate the burnout to escape from them. So Shin will actually pop his summoner flash in that situation to get nothing out from Starfall, to get nothing out from QTV.
So actually, QTV is doing pretty well for himself, having a small CS lead over Starfall, but nothing to be too Nothing too much for him to fall back on and be too safe actually, because Starfall is going to be able to scale up just as well as he does. But the thing is that the Cutlass is completed on QTV, so he's going to get his Blade of the Ruin King much faster than Starfall. And you know, for Starfall, he needs to really deep freeze the lane, get some more farm, and then hopefully get some more global gold from the rest of his teammates.
I have to say though, the lane is already pushing in his favor, so he will be able to get the piece off. So the 10 CS deficit we saw him have earlier, he has already started to close that gap. But now this would mean that QT is allowed to roam that map, and in about a minute and a half, this third rotation of buffs will be coming out, and I would expect that Saigon Fantastic 5 will be trying to contest those buffs.
Look at the CS on SOFM though, you know, with all this time that we are kind of discussing the things that are going around the map, he is now 95 CS against you know, Optimus's 68 in the mid lane, and with the fact that there's only the Tear of the Goddess happening, oh hold on, might be a gang happening.
Skyfall in the top lane, the counter strike is good and it lands the stun down. Here comes the full up from Shin as it lands down, and the Dragon Slayer Pantheon will slay the dragon.
That, you know, that's something that I did not notice at all, that he was running the Dragon Slayer skin as well. But you know, good for him. He did slay the dragon in the process, so picking up some more kills for himself. Actually, that kill went over to Starfall, so channeling some kills over to the solo laners, not a bad thing at all. Now it's going to be NFL with 17k against 15.7. I think Dragon's going to be coming up very, very soon as well, but Starfall is slowly climbing himself back to the game. In fact, has more CS as compared to QTV now.
There's the hook just missing out there, but an inch from Su, we actually managed to get the hook there. SF5 might be able to catch the break that they need. So far, this game has started out with a little bit of genius tactical play on their part, identifying that their opponents elected to go for both buffs, which allowed them to actually defend the push and secure a tower over their opponents in that case. However, too much aggression in the mid lane, followed by a questionable decision to go for a dragon, resulted in them losing multiple kills, and now it has put Optimus in the position we see himself in, down 24 CS against his lane opponent as well as a kill.
Dragon is now back live. Neolution Fluids have a slightly better positioning as compared to SF5 to try to challenge and contest with this one. But SF5 is just right around the corner. They might catch NFL in a pincer position. The teleport comes in.
Oh, we actually see the rest of the strike coming in, but the smite is good from Shin, and they will be able to get it. But it's now a full resistance to be overextended on the dragon. Shin will be the first one to go down. We see the kick going to SOFM. He does have the intervention to save himself. He flashes out there, but Minas is right around there to find the counter kill. And now Jack has to run away. He has popped the sneaky, and he will be able to get up there. But now Violet in a whirl of it. Resonating strike lands onto him, and Jungle LG will find the kill.
Very good team fight coming over from SF5. We will see a replay to see what exactly went down in the Dragon Pit. So look at what happened here. NFL finishes off the Dragon, but then they are caught out in the pincer position, because if you look at the map here, the AD carry is nowhere to be found from the side of NFL. If he had responded a little bit earlier, he could have used the rapid attack to put a whole chunk of damage, but it was just SF5 with a much more coordinated team fight. They knew exactly which targets they wanted to go for, and then it was a very simple clean up duty after that. Jeff wanted to go in to implement some damage, but didn't happen at all, and then it's just going to be Violet going down, being the sacrificial lamb of Steel. So with that, they pick up 3 kills, they come back slightly, and now they have gotten themselves the goal lead once again.
Okay, I just want to talk a little bit about decisions of when to go and do Dragon. Usually you go for super early Dragon. It doesn't really give it that much goal, but the reason why you see a lot of teams in the LCS do it is because it gives you the timer on the second one. But
exactly.
In this case, nothing worked out in the favor of SF5, even though they got the Dragon, because Fullus had the timer on the second one. But I felt that it was very sloppy of Fullus to simply start up the second one, because they knew the SF5 also had the timer, and that they would be around the area to contest it. But now QTV is the one who gets caught up. He doesn't. Oh, he fails the flash. That was disastrous for him, as Shin will be picking up another kill for himself to go 3-1 and 3.
That must have been a very depressing moment for QTV there as well. And you know the thing, I believe he had the Dragon's Descent as well, so he could have used that to try to run away as well. But you know, very good pick from Neolution Fluids to actually camp up in that tri-brush and then catch out QTV as he was just zooming by there as well. So you know, that's something that is rather iconic for Neolution Fluids. Once they get ahead, they get the momentum rolling on the edge, they will not hesitate to make plays like that. And for that one, paid off very well, and then they get the top lane turret out of there as well. So finally grabbing the gold gap back to their advantage as well into a 1.4k. So, you know, there's been a lot of back and forth just goes to show how well these two teams know each other and how well these two teams fare up against each other.
And once again, you can look at the difference in warding compared to the Saigon Fantastic Fives. Ward littered all over the map. Actually, we might see a dive onto Jeff here. The calling has to drop the wave. They goes onto him. This might be an Optimus. Uses the rift for him now. Su, is he gonna drop the turret? Oh, he tries to use the flash to get up there. Isn't enough. The shield from the lantern will be enough to save him from that situation.
Very, very close for Su over there, and you know, just like you mentioned, the shield was just enough to save his life. But I thought that the dive could have been initiated a little bit cleaner, but nevertheless, a kill is still a kill. They get the bottom lane turret as well, so you know, pulling the gold gap into their favor once more. So a lot of back and forth in the map over here. But overall, what I feel is that with all this attention now away from the mid lane, it gives SF5 so much time to farm up. He has already completed the Nash's Tooth and the Sorcerer's Shoes as well, so he's going to be having a whole bunch of damage. And yeah, just like you pointed out to me, looking at the gold difference right now, there's pretty much nothing. It's non-existent.
Oh, Shin finds 3 people in the jungle. He might have been a little bit of trouble. Divine intervention to drop onto him, but that's the outcome from SOF. And now any focus target on the side of Full List will be dropping really quickly. But nonetheless, they are able to disengage away from that. The entire team will be recalling now.
That's right, so Saigon Fantastic 5 desperately looking for the play to happen in the jungle, and they nearly got it as well, but if not for the intervention. And right now, if you look at the items, QTV already completed the Blade of the Ruin King, and for Starfall finally finishing his up as well. So these two champions are going to hit their power spike, but very good rotation coming in from Saigon Fantastic 5 to actually put some damage up into the top lane turret, as we see a very long range spear come up from Finn as well. So they recognize the damage threat from NFL, and they will back away from the top lane turret for now.
You know, for a second, I thought those were Dilly Spears, and I was wondering, wait, where's the Dilly in this game?
Oh,
but
man.
Nonetheless, Neolution Fulus, they mounted a successful defense on the top lane turret, and at first, as you pointed out, there might be a slight item differential between the Shyvana and the Jax, but with Jax become his own Blade of the Ruin King, the split push option from the side of Saigon Fantastic 5 isn't really that strong right now. So it looks like it will be up to them and their movements in the jungle, as we see SOF trying to get a dive onto Optimus, but he will use the Rift Walk to get out of their safety.
And he's denied some experience as well, but hold on, the box comes down.
Oh, the teleport comes in, but they kill the turret in time. This might be quite bad for Saigon Fantastic 5, but nonetheless, they do find the return kill onto SOF, and then Violet following that up subsequently.
Yeah, that's the double kill going over to Minas, and meanwhile, while that was happening, actually Jeff taken down the bottom lane turret as well, and now QTV focusing his turret, his efforts up on the top lane turret as well. So lots of structures just falling left and right all over the map, and this one looks like it's going down as well. It will go into the favor of Saigon Fantastic 5. So wow, with a clean sweep, a couple of turrets falling in the past 3 minutes or so. But the goal lead isn't paramount at all for Saigon Fantastic 5, even though they have 2 extra turrets up against Neolution followers. That just goes to show how well the solo laners have been farming up for themselves. Look at SOF, I think because of the fact that they did take the first dragon as well, so that goal lead isn't that big of a difference.
Well, I have to point out though, the split push option, scrap that what I was talking about earlier, because we saw QTV actually out-duo Starfall on the top lane earlier, despite both having completed the Blade of the Ruin King. And I have to say that this is QTV for you. He is considered one of the best top laners in the region, as his jungleology, finding out Starfall. Now, will he be able to find a pick here? Wait, he actually picks up the dragon in this game. Slow gets down to Starfall. He will be the focus of all the action. And now the ray buff is sticking onto him, but he will be able to escape from that. Would that be the end? The hook misses, but Optimus is still on the chase. Once again, Violet in a world of pain. That Nami is a very squishy fish, but as she rejoins up with the rest of the Full Lewis team, she will be able to escape away from that. So Full Lewis, they managed to steal away the dragon right under Saigon Fantastic 5's noses.
Yeah, that's right. So finally grabbing one more global objective for themselves, but it was a very big risk as well, because if you look at the health bars, Violet almost went down, Starfall almost went down as well. So if Saigon Fantastic 5 had a slightly more coordinated fight over there, if they could just stack up the Dragon's Descent and together with the slows coming in from their respective members, then it could have been a much cleaner team fight for them to take. But unfortunately, they were unable to take anyone down, so it is going to be Neolution followers coming out ahead in that engage. And with that, it's going to just open up more items and goal for Neolution followers, and we actually see SFM finishing up with the Adder Whistle. I think he might just be rushing for the lit instead.
Okay, Starfall going to QTV here, but QTV is forced to pop the Dragon's Descent, jumping right into the Baron pit together from Starfall. It looks like a little bit of a dangerous situation there, but he was able to leap away to safety.
Something that I've noticed on the side for Shin, but hold on.
Here we go, sneaky, but Riftwalk will allow Optimus to get out of there. So Jeff, he tries for the assassination, but he doesn't really force anything up Optimus in that case.
Yeah, so Optimus there. It's going to be quite difficult for someone to bring a Kassadin from 100 to 0 right off the bat, and it's just going to be quite difficult for Jeff to assassinate Optimus right there.
This is standard for Lewis. You see him grouping up and starting to move into the opponent's jungle, trying to find some random fight, and now here we see the Grand Skyfall. People drawing circles, Shin, Dragon Slayer, Pantheon, all ready to slay that dragon, but it looks like he will be cancelling that ultimate and trying to look for a better opportunity to go in and slay.
Yeah, and you know, before that little assassination attempt happened in the mid lane, I just want to say that I noticed something that happened for Shin. He picked up the Black Cleaver for himself, and I have to say it's a very good choice for him to have that, because it synergizes very, very well with the rest of the team, because XYFM is going to have some sort of armor and magic resist strat from her passive as well. And then just, you know, stack that with the Black Cleaver, that opens up a lot of armor shredding for Jeff to go in with the rat-a-tat-tat and, you know, try to bring as much AoE damage as possible. So if NFL can stack up all the shredding, it is just going to be easy time for Jeff to bring anyone down as much as possible. But if you look at him, his 0-2 and 0 has been constantly caught out. Although he has finished up the Blade of the Ring King, I don't think he has a huge bulk of damage just as of yet. So I think they just need more time for him to get some more items before going for the 5v5 team fights.
Jungle, camping on the opponent's jungle, trying to find a rotation and a pick in that situation if NFL decide to send a member from the mid lane to the bottom lane to try and give Optimus very relatively safe. They coming in from there, considering that Optimus has to riftwalk to escape, as well as the mobility of Lee Sin combined together with Crash. But then Ruby popping the culling in the mid lane as he tries to get up the wave as much as possible. Oh, you see the teleport coming in from QTV. This might be the collapse that Saigon Fantastic 5 is looking for. He finds SOF and tries to build the Rooking onto him. He completely misses the Dragon's Descent as SOF decides to use the flash to get out there. Here comes the Thunder Wave. Su manages to find the hook on the Subando, and now Su will immediately drop now, but Starfall drop extremely low in this case. QTV, he's extremely low. Tick, the poison will take him down in that case. And now Jungleology has an Optimus here on the run. Jungleology drop extremely low. He has the flash out there. Uses to watch him as well. He wants to stay away from the Pantheon. 2-4-0 in the favor of Fully so far.
That's right, and that's a very, very good team fight as we go into a replay to see how NFL actually came out on top of that one. So it all started off as a flank attempt from QTV, and just like you mentioned, completely with the Dragon's Descent and a very good preemptive flash coming out from SOFM as well. And look at this tidal wave that just turned the tide of the battle for this one. As Jeff goes in with the task of the flask, and it goes for the rat-tat-tat, and then bringing everyone all so low, and was just clean up duty. QTV is the next one to melt as well. He doesn't have the Dragon's Descent to try to run away this time. It burned the flash, but it was just way too much for him to deal with, and Jungle surviving with a slither of health as well.
I like the idea behind that plan. The rotations were good, the idea was solid, however the execution was rather questionable. First of all, the rest of the team, they weren't really on the same page. The positioning of the ward and QTV, he could have held it up slightly, a little while longer for the rest of the team to try and catch up, so that even if he did manage to land the Dragon's Descent, the rest of the team will be there to immediately follow up. And in that case, after he did have the Dragon's Descent, the team should have continued chasing, as the memo of initiation was already blown in that case. And for Jungle to find the insect that he did, as the Neolution Fulus, they will be going for the Baron.
Yep, and there is going to be that one isolated ward spotting NFL as they try to take this Baron, and it does look like they are going to back up from this one. Jeff in a whole lot of trouble this one. Tidal Wave comes through as well. Shin still surviving with the intervention. Doesn't go down as well. He will survive and run the hell out of there, as Jeff is the only sacrificial lamb. But here comes The jump now from Penta. Are they going to re-engage from this one? Yes, they do. And now Su is going to pay the price as Jungleology goes in for the kick as well. He gets the finishing blow on the Spartan. And here comes Optimus jumping in with the ultimate again. And now Violet's in a whole bunch of trouble. He has to try to run away, but there is no way that he's going to run. Jungleology is going to catch up to him. In the end, it's a 4-for-1 trade actually, as now Minas tries to chase it down onto Starfall to get the ace. He should be able to get it, and there we go. It's a delayed ace, and actually it's not the ace because Jeff just unfortunately respawned as well. So we will have a replay actually to see what happened on Jeff.
And I'll just bring you guys through this one. First of all, for Lewis, they didn't have the vision coverage that they had around the Baron pit and it all started. So as a result, Jeff, he was late to the Baron pit, and SF5, they caught him as they was approaching that. So off the screen to the upper side, we actually see Jungleology picking off Jeff in that situation. But now, QTV is a good guy. He successfully lands the Dragon's Descent in this fight. And as a result, he manages to drop multiple members of Full Lewis really low before he finally goes down. And here comes the questionable re-engage from Full Lewis. Perhaps he felt that he couldn't really take the fight anymore, and this is Optimus playing really, really well. This is why people say that Casson is such a scary, scary monster, because look at all these winners for outplay. You don't have vision on him, whoop, Rift Walk into your face, find one kill. And here we go, one more onto Violet subsequently. In 7 seconds, and there we go. Rift Walk into your face, then the slow, and a second kill. And then Minas in the top lane, he will be finding the kill onto Starfall the moment the relentless pursuit allows him to get the damage on.
Yeah, that's right, and so very nice call from the Saigon Fantastic 5 over there to catch on to Neolution for Lewis, as they sort of made a very undecisive call whether to finish up the Dragon, the Baron or not. And then it was eventually them just going down to SF5 as they had a much better positioning.
QTV now sneaking around the brush. Might he be able to ambush the ambush master in this case? Jeff has no idea, and there we go. QTV is going on to him. Jeff tries to pop the invisibility clap, but will it be enough? The Dragon's Descent comes in. Jeff, big extra reload. He survives with a sliver of health, and now Jungleology is trying to pull up, but he gets caught up by the bubble. Now Violet, what are you doing? Now Jungleology on the chase here. There we go. Is the kill in the favor of Jungleology? A little bit too much of a mistake by Violet. It's like, I caught 2 men in the bubble. I caught 2 men in my tidal wave. Let's stay around and wait for them to land to kill me later.
Yeah, definitely a very strange call from Violet there, and I think he sort of expected his teammate to be around the corner, but fortunately wasn't the case. And even if he tried to run, Jungleology was there to land the kick back as well. So very unfortunate circumstances, but here comes the jump with the Skyfall.
Grand Skyfall coming in. They will be focusing on the QTV, but he escapes away from that. The Jungleology will fall in the process, and now they jump onto Optimus, but Rift Walk every 7 seconds he will be able to have a free flash to disengage from or re-engage with as he pleases. So they will be picking up that they will not actually pick up the inhibitor turret for the trouble, but nonetheless this game has swung in the favor of SF5.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, if you look at the composition that was drafted out much earlier on, if you think about it, there isn't a whole bunch of disengage from Saigon Fantastic 5 other than the box for the entire team. But so far, Su has been very on point with the ultimate to make sure that he encloses the area to create this big zone for Saigon Fantastic 5 to fight with, and for NFL to to create some space if NFL catch them in a bad position. And that's exactly the story of this game. That's why you see for countless times, Saigon Fantastic 5, they are not afraid to bring the fight over to NFL, even though they know for a fact that they might not be in the best position to do so. So, you know, props to Su making the plays happen, but right now, he's getting caught.
Optimus is coming around from the side, but Su is drop extreme low. He actually lands on the Starfall. He has the Ignite taking on him. He may or may not survive from that one. We actually see Divine Intervention going on to the Twitch, but that's not enough as you see Jeff, the first one to fall. Violet will be the second, as once again, a very dead fish. Dead in the water, in fact, and it's now QTV, very scary Dragon will be chasing on the SOFM. SOFM drop extreme low. That's 2 members down, 4 members down on the side of Saigon Fantastic 5. QTV is now mano against Shin. 1-on-1 as Shin drops the extreme low. Here comes the crit, and that's the triple kill for Shin, as he is definitely the star of the show, stealing the glory away from SOFM for Neolution Full Lewis.
I love that 1v1 fight over there. Would love to see a replay if it happens. And actually, yeah, here we go. We actually have a replay to see what happened in that whole chaotic fight. And it all started off with Su. As long as the moment we started praising him, he got caught right out. And if you see what happened to this fight, it was Jungleology actually zoning out Jeff as well, so he got taken down very, very quickly in this fight. But there was a very critical mistake made over here if you look at it closely. Minas went in with the calling. He dashes forward right after that. And then it was just goal time for NFL for everyone to collapse onto him. And look at this dash. He goes right into the center of everyone else, goes down in the process, and then it was clean up. Jungleology goes down to SOFM as well right after he takes... Jungleology goes down to Sheen actually as he takes down SOFM. And then now we have the man-on-man, one-on-one fight here as, you know, the Dragon Slayers is kind of like catching over there and Sheen comes out ahead.
So for Lewis, they're actually closing the goal gap a little bit more. My goodness, Chris, this is such a back and forth game. Saigon Fantastic 5 going up against the aggression of Lewis so far. Saigon Fantastic 5 though, I have to say Optimus in the fight didn't really do too well. I will feel that it's his experience and kind of instincts playing champions such as Gragas and Oriana. They put it in those situations.
Whoa, hold on.
Actually, they find a catch onto SOFM, and now Jungleology being the focus on the side for Lewis. Violet once again a whole lot of trouble. He lets the bubble onto one, but that's not enough as Midas is on the chase. Optimus will find the kill onto Violet. As now that's a 2-4-0. This might be the break that Saigon Fantastic 5 needs. They're now 5 against 3 with Jeff, Shin, and only Starfall left on their side. They will be taking up this defense star and possibly the inhibitor as well.
This should definitely be the break that SF5 needs, because, you know, there's just no way that NFL is gonna fight them under such circumstances. And SF5 is trying to end the game. Yeah, they're going for the game here.
14 seconds on SOFM step timer. We see the Grand Skyfall coming in. Will he be able to get a good start off? He jumps in, but he has to immediately back it out there. That's the first Nexus star down. Will he be able to get a second? We see Starfall falling ready. This is disaster for Full Lewis. But Saigon Fantastic 5, it might have just been enough to turn them away and around from this possibly game-ending moment.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like Shin actually had the damage to sort of defend that fight against SF5. So even though Starfall did go down in that defense over there, but it just bought some time for NFL actually. And it does look like they might actually want to try to go for Baron here. They're posturing around it, but this is a very, very risky move over here. Might be desperation move. And probably the better move over here was to go for a bait here, but I think they are very confident of their damage output overall. But this is a very, very dangerous call over here. Let's see what happens.
Oh, this is 5-1-3 at the moment. Saigon Fantastic 5, they have to be very careful about this. Full Lewis, they actually pick up the Baron for themselves. SF5, they have to get out of here. They have to get out of here as the AD carry is not in position just yet. But nonetheless, they will be clearing up the wards. But they do have the inhibitor in their favor. So picking up the Baron with the counter Baron play, it was decisive. I have to say, it's very, very in the flavor of how Full Lewis likes to play. Just go for those Barons, go for this extremely high risk, high reward plays. They didn't really have the vision, but they say that we know you guys are low, let's just go for it. They put the trigger, went for the Baron, and they should be able to buy enough time for the inhibitor to respawn.
Yeah, and you know, down at the Baron pit, QTV was not around with them. So I think that was the reason why they didn't want to go for the fight, but I almost feel like the hesitation just cost SF5 the recipe for them to close out this game. If they had just caught NFL right there and then, they could have, you know, just taken out a few members and then closed off the game for them. But just like you mentioned, you know, NFL making a very big gamble, and then it paid off as well. So they are able to walk off the Baron buff and then, you know, go back to base, defend out the Nexus turrets, and then, you know, now counter pushing out the lanes. They did drop one Nexus turret though, so that's the exchange that they have to pay for in order to take the Baron buff.
And Saigon Fantastic 5, they will pick up a Dragon during all the time while Neolution Full Lewis had to return to their base, buy some items, heal up, as well as defend the super minions knocking on their front door. And we saw that actually securing 260 gold for each member as we see a pause coming once again in the favor of Full Lewis. But game has resumed, and now Baron buff is on Full Lewis. I expect Saigon Fantastic 5 to kind of slow the game down at this point of time, re-establish vision control, and the moment that 4 minutes has elapses, they will be trying to find an aggressive pick within the jungle of Full Lewis should they try to go for one of the buffs. Currently, Green buff is up, Blue buff will be responding about the zero effect, so I think the pick will be happening either in the bottom lane, on the bottom, or at least in the bottom side of the map.
NFL is actually trying to brute force their way down to mid lane. I'm not too sure if this is going to be the best decision that they're going to make here, because it's going to be QTV knocking on the doors out at the top lane turret now.
I love this from QTV.
Yeah.
Their push is so brilliant because they know that they want to exercise the Baron option. You try and get as many objectives as possible. So why not we send QTV around? He has got the Dragon's Descent to go around and pick up his objectives for himself. As you see the amount of pressure and the way Fullus isn't reacting that well to it. He actually has Dragon's Descent as well. As the flash runs to escape from that, he already has popped the Descent, so he's dropped extremely low. He will actually go down to Violence in this case. So now it's 5 on 4 with the Baron Bound, but that was a minute and a half of time that he bought for his team.
Yeah, that's right, but I'm not too sure if that's just the best reaction that he got. Actually, you know, just like you mentioned, you know, for QTV to go out and apply some split pushing pressure, it's a very good call for SF5, but they kind of reacted the wrong way, I feel, for SF5. He kind of overcommitted to the split push, but hold on down the mid lane.
Oh, we might actually see the dive coming in here as you actually get some fun stuff while Shin is going in deep. Right now we actually see Suit immediately dropping down to the amount of damage. This is the point time when killing Cassidy, they've completed their core item trading, and the amount of damage that they are doing is just so much. Optimus is nowhere to be seen for the South Blue. It's just yet that he is coming around from the back, and SNT reaction as they call in chemistry, a nucleophilic one, as some might call it.
Right, Optimus is now actually on the run over here, but on the wrong side of the map. He might just go down over here, as now he's trying to fend for his life. QTV is now back up in the top lane once again. He might just get the split push happening over here, as Optimus now just walks past the terrain as well, as now QTV will let the minions do the job. Finally, the split push comes to an end as it goes in a very successful one.
Oh, but now with most of the members of Fullus in their own base, with the Baron buff at about 1 minute more to go, Saigon Fantastic 5, they have to hightail out of here. The split push tactics, I have to say, they're very cute, and I am honestly impressed by the way the Optimus and QTV have been moving around the map. And although they did lose the middle second tier turret, so far as to say, getting the inhibitor turret in exchange for that, definitely worth.
Yeah, not only that, it just creates so much more pressure for NFL over now, because if you think about it, even if the inhibitor were to respond for the mid lane, and actually it's back up now if I'm not wrong, so all this open inhibitors in the top lane as well as the mid lane is just going to create so much more pressure, because QTV, if he's left alone, he is capable of taking out one inhibitor by himself. And then you do have Optimus as well, who's just going to be so slippery on that Cassidy, he can't even make the backdoor happen. And after all, what better way to start the backdoor with the most legendary backdoor champion ever, Cassidy. Yeah, that's right. So let's see if that's going to happen in this game. I'm not going to put my hopes high up for it, but I'm just saying that the option is open and available for SF5.
Well, so far, the one who is more likely to be performing that X-Back game will be QTV, as he is the one who has the teleport summoner spell in this case.
Yeah, that's right.
Optimus has gone for Flash and Ignite in this situation to try and go for a stronger duelist in this case. But nonetheless, we actually see the amount of damage that Optimus is doing now. He has got the Zonya's Hourglass, he's got the Raw Aegis, as well as the Seraph's and base completed already, and it looks like he will be getting a Death Cap to top up those items as well.
And now it is going to be NFL that's facing up against the 1-3-1 push, and looks like there's actually a whole bunch of damage stacked up from Optimus as well. So SOFM has to be very, very careful on how he approaches this. He cannot simply underestimate the damage output from Optimus over here. And here comes the tidal wave.
Oh, the hook goes on the Shin, followed by the flash Shin. As the Divine Intervention until Optimus drops the Zonya's Hourglass. But Shin will be the first one to go down. Stu actually as well gets the kill. And now QTV doing work on the backline. Starfall immediately gets wrecked. That's the double kill for QTV. But the faster flash out there. But that's a very fright and roasted fish in this case. In fact, they are ignoring him. The Void from Cassidy will be trying to claim the Nexus itself instead. Only Violet will be stunning this case. This should be game for Saigon Fantastic 5. Violet needs to pull out a miracle defense in this case. Actually, we see him distracting 2 members away, but that would not be enough. As Saigon Fantastic 5, after a very, very well-played game, will be picking up the Nexus for themselves. Congratulations to them.
A very well-played game indeed, and SF5 finally ringing the bells of victory 38 minutes into this game. And I have to say, Saigon Fantastic 5, they had a little hiccups here and there, but overall, they still had the better game plan coming into the game. And, I have to give props to NFL as well. They were, at most parts, playing very reactionary play, but they were the ones who were applying pressure over to SF5. So, overall, a very close game, but SF5 just came out on top in their gameplay, and of course, just using the flank